Good to be back on Super Wednesday. We are so grateful to be here sharing our experience. I think a lot of us, we came into this platform because we weren't well and we were looking for solutions. 2.5 years ago, when I actually met Choo again, she actually explained and showed me her transformation. And I was actually quite blown away with her transformation. As for her, she has always been someone that does not believe in medication. Unlike me, because I went to university, my professor always say, if you have a problem, take a pill, the problem goes away. But seems like it did not work so well for my career as well as a pharmacist, and I decided to quit. In my 10 years journey in the pharmaceutical industry, I find it very difficult because I've seen so many of my customers, my patients, they get even more sick after taking long-term medications. And even the people around me that I love, I saw them suffer. I really see them suffer by taking 10, 15 pills a day, medication, just to control their high blood pressure, their diabetes, their cholesterol, anxiety, depression, and things like that. So that's why we are here not to play doctor, but to actually share with you an alternative that you can actually consider if you have gone through that route of taking so many medications, visiting clinics, hospitals, and you're done. This is something that after this session, you may consider looking into this seriously. I just want to be very thankful for this wellness community that we are building. And last Saturday, if you guys been to our grand recognition event, I think if you saw the testimonials on stage, those people that were in their 60s, 70s, 80 years old on stage sharing their testimonials. And that is really touching because it's something that, wow, at that age, your body can also heal itself. Although it won't go back to 100%. But what about 60, 70% is already a bonus. It's already a big bonus. We saw a lot of recoveries and things like that. Today, I'm here to share my experience as a pharmacist. I don't practice anymore, but I can share with you what I learned throughout that 4 years in university and 10 years working in the pharmaceutical industry. This is my mission today with everybody, and I hope you guys will be able to make an informed decision for yourself to know what to do next. Today, I want to share with you something and how much effort do we actually put into our health. I'm not talking about like going shopping, making yourself feel good, and going for massages, going to spa, facial. That is physical. Those are things that it does not actually make your overall health improve. What I'm talking about is self-care, imparting more knowledge into your body, how you can make your health better each day. As time actually progresses, our way of handling health also is different already. How many of you here actually exercise or eat right, or just be with yourself and ask yourself how you can actually improve on a daily basis with the right mindset and this positivity and things like that. So this is something that's very important. I feel that even me myself, those days when I was so busy working in a corporate and my own business and things like that, I find it so difficult to focus on myself, and hence I actually had a lot of health issues. If I did not take care, it will become worse and worse. So this is something that we have to take note of. The first thing that we need to do is to put a lot of self-care in for ourselves. We need to be a bit more selfish in a sense to love ourselves better. Have you ever constantly feel tired, sluggish, or mentally foggy, even after a full night's sleep? So some people can sleep for 10, 12 hours and they still wake up very tired. Yeah, like they have never really slept properly before. So that was me many, many years ago. I was actually burnt out from working and things like that. And I did not really have the proper break. And the food that I was eating processed. I love fast food, by the way. It's actually my go-to food. If I'm stuck in a hurry, I'll just drive through and I'll order my fast food and I'll eat. Nowadays, the pollution is crazy, the agricultural pollution. For our generation and a lot of younger generation to come, even no matter how healthy we eat, whether it's organic, the farms that are actually producing the poultries and vegetables and things like that, the fruits, is actually heavily polluted because of our polluted environment. A lot of toxins, a lot of developments going on. If you look outside Bangsa South or Old Klang Road itself, how many new condos are actually coming up? Forests, all the forests are actually being deforested. The trees are being cut down as well, a lot of it. So all this actually contributes to a lot of toxic environment. That's why you see young people nowadays, they fall sick easier. A lot of cancer cases in their 30s and 40s. Even my circle of friends, I've heard news that breast cancer, if once they actually spotted it, they go for checkups, it's already stage 3. It's important what we need to do in order for us to better our health. Stress and chemicals, if people drink and smoke like how I used to, I was also a heavy drinker. These are things that I've been eliminating in the past 2.5 years from my body. So there's a lot of toxins that we need to remove. First of all, mental toxin, emotional toxin, and then physical toxin. That's why we all need to focus on detox. How do we do this? This was my journey before, all right? And I actually took this passport picture, and to my shocking, very, very shocking, I took it out many years later. I found myself looking like this. Severely bloated. I had a lot of gastric issue, a lot of acid reflux, bloatiness, face water retention. I wasn't fat. I was never, in fact, a heavy person. But I had all this issue because of stress and what I did to my body. What was I feeding my body? A lot of other issues like low energy, lack of focus, stage 2 fatty liver, pre-diabetic condition as well. These are the things that I went through. And basically, I was self-medicating for 15 years. As a pharmacist, I thought I knew what to do, what to take. I was actually harming my body with more and more medications. Gastric pill, charcoal pills, Gaviscon. Every single day, I would take some of this to make myself feel better. But it helps temporarily, but it comes back again. The bloatiness, the acid reflux and things like that. Oh my gosh. When I actually suffer from acid reflux or bloatiness, I cannot work the whole day. I cannot really function as well. It really destroyed my entire day. My focus is really not there. A lot of people say that, hey, Chin Hua, you look really sick and pale and things like that. But those days I was very ignorant and I did not really bother as well about my health. Then it escalated. If I did not take care of all these issues, it will lead me to heart failure damages in my body. So it's very important that we find ways to manage our health. After medication did not work, I was so desperate, I went to buy different kind of supplements. And I load my own body with a lot of supplements. I'm not saying that it did not work for me. It did work for me to a certain extent. But my gastric issue, my bloatiness and all that was still always coming back. Although the frequency is lower, but it still kept coming back. This was my own little experiment for the past 2 years, yeah, when I was experimenting a lot of different supplements and see what is good for my body. I stopped all the medication and I went into supplements, and I did a lifestyle change as well. I don't smoke, I don't drink anymore. I've been clean for some time already. If you look at me, that man in the middle of the left-hand side picture, that was me. That was the time where I was only 55 kilo. I was never fat. If you look at me today, I am heavier. I'm 60 kilo and I lost all the water retention and things like that. This is something that your body can actually regenerate. You can become healthier again at no matter what age you are. It's just what do you need to do to help your body to heal faster naturally. This was me 55 kilos before, and today I'm only about 60 kilo. I'm still very underweight, by the way. For my height, I am 172 cm. I should be about 68 kilograms. That is my optimum weight. I'm working towards about 65 kilo this year. This is something that after using Lifewave technology, I find my metabolism better. I find that I put on muscle easier when I exercise. I find that my appetite is also better and I sweat even more. These are all detox process which I'm going to share with you in a while. This is my journey, and I can tell you that I've been using the technology for about 2 years and a bit. And is it 2 years? This is my third year. 2 years and a bit, and I really see significant difference in my entire overall well-being. Not just my gut health, even my mindset more positive these days. I can handle a lot of different stressful situations as well. This is something that is truly amazing. If you just give yourself the faith and just be very consistent in using this technology. If you are here for the first time, this is something that is very important in terms of knowing what is happening to our body overall. Even Harvard Medical School released this statement that our gut is our second brain. So that's why those days when I wasn't healthy, I didn't know that there was a huge connection, that it would directly link that problem to our gut. That's why I had all that gastric issue and things like that. When I felt very unwell, I started looking into my own health and I started researching about gut health. And this is what I found. If we don't take care of our guts, this is going to happen. We're going to have a lot of brain issue like brain fog, Alzheimer's, dementia, poor memory, depression, anxiety. That was exactly what I was going through. And then our diabetes, stroke, anemia, all comes from poor gut health. The inflammation from our gut. Our muscle weakness, like muscle pain, we lose muscle much more faster. Every year, on average, after 40 years old, we lose about 1% muscle every single year. So that's why it's important for us to strengthen our muscle. We need to go to the gym, we need to do our walks, strengthening our muscles, then it doesn't deteriorate as quick. Now, if you look at a lot of senior citizens in their 80s, 90s, it's very dangerous to leave them at home, especially if they want to go to the bathroom. Because the bathroom floors are very slippery, you see, and there are a lot of accidents that happens in the bathroom after they shower or they use the bathroom. This is something to take note of as well. If they're losing muscle, they don't have the balance and they will fall and they hit their head. So brain damage, hemorrhage, and worst case scenario, death. This is something very important. Bones fracture, osteoporosis, the natural ability not to repair bones as the rate that it was supposed to be. These are all general aging issue, but we can slow down this aging. Skin condition, eczema, acne, psoriasis. So all these issues, rashes and things like that, is actually from the gut. So if you bring your children to the skin specialist for rashes condition, eczema and things like that, actually what they give you are very surface antibiotic creams, steroid creams, maybe antibiotic pills, steroid pills, and things like that. But it doesn't resolve the root cause, which is inside our gut. This is something for us to look into seriously. If you really want to resolve the issue, don't keep going to the skin specialist. They can only help you guys temporarily. So fix the root cause, the problem goes away. Thyroid, where a lot of hormones are controlled. So lung, cough, COPD, asthma, it's from the gut as well, inflammation. Poor GI health, our gastric health, like GERD, celiac disease, and all these autoimmune. Everything starts from the inflammation in our stomach. High blood pressure, kidney failures, everything to do with food that we eat that causes inflammation to the system. Liver, the toxic load, the fatty liver, and things like that. So in most of the countries, a lot of people, they suffer cholesterol, diabetes, and high blood pressure. So everything starts from our guts. That's why it's so important for us to look into our gut health. Now, if you go to acupuncture, Chinese acupuncture, the TCM doctor will actually look into your gut health in detail. But if you go to a Western doctor, they will do all kind of scopes and they'll just prescribe you gastric pills, like charcoal pills and things like that, antacids and things like that. That is not something that you can actually use long term. It's only there to temporarily control your symptoms, like what I used to do when I was self-medicating for 15 years. Today, I'm clear of all that issues. I'm so glad and happy, and I'm very, very grateful that I actually find solutions for my own health. When we take in so much toxins, whether it's through food, water, whether it's the air that we breathe, all right, so it starts to accumulate in our body, the toxins, and we suffer joint pain, bad breath, headache, fatigue, mental health issues, autoimmune condition, insomnia, skin diseases. All these issues are based on inflammation in our system, the toxic overloading. That's why it's important for us to detox, right? And what happens when your liver, kidneys, and guts are overworking to filter out all the waste? It jams up our entire system. Now, if you look at passing through highway tolls during the peak hours, if you go to work 7 a.m. in the morning, so then there's a huge traffic trying to pass by the toll. It's the same logic for our organs as well. If you don't detox, you don't clear the toll, it will forever be jammed. These are the things that our organs actually suffer. If you look at our gut, weakened immune system, okay, joint pain, bloating, indigestion. Our kidneys, fatigue, weight loss, nausea, vomiting, itchy skin, and then our liver, unexpected weight gain, awful breath, acne, over sweating. These are the things that your body is trying to detox, but you keep feeding it toxic. Then it doesn't work properly. Do you treat your body like a Rolls Royce? If you do, then you have to service your body like a Rolls Royce as well. How often will you service your body? I actually have not done a detox all my life. That's why my whole body was so damaged, right? And the amount of toxic that I overloaded it with actually give it even more stress. Now when I'm using the patches, it's actually helping me to detox on a daily basis. That's why I always tell people, be very patient with this technology. Then when you use it, when you patch it on your body, morning and night, it actually starts to detox. It services your body. So these are something that even exercise, no matter how much of exercise you do, you cannot detox your body this way. It's very different. Your long-term health, is it worth a little internal house cleaning? This is how our human body energy clock works in general, right? Every different time of the day, your organs are working differently. This is something that to take note of. And let's say, for example, you are waking up between 3 to 5 coughing. That means your lungs are weak. If you can't sleep between 1 to 3 a.m., your liver is weak. These are things that we look into to better our health. What else can we do? Find solutions for it, right? And acupuncture is a very good way to detox. But who would want to go through the pain of having 30 needles in our body? One needle is fine. But if your body is so damaged and you go to TCM and they want to perform an overhaul on you, a detox, they have to put more needles into you. And it's going to be very painful. If 30, 50 needles, then the pain is there. This is something that I share with people all the time. And what if there is a way to detox, right? Needleless, non-drugs, no side effects. With just a little patch technology like this, which is what we call the Western acupuncture technology, guys. This is something that I'm going into to let you understand how this technology works. In the past, do you guys remember this phone or not? Nokia 3310. This was about, I think, 25 years ago. It was a hit thing when it came out. Now, it's very different because this Nokia becomes irrelevant. You cannot use WhatsApp. You cannot do video calls. You cannot. Now, everyone uses Android or Apple because the technology has evolved, has the way we manage our health. Then now we can make free calls. Provided that we have free Wi-Fi, we can make it to international calls and things like that for free. These are things that is actually ever changing. We need to catch up with time and not being a dinosaur. I want to put out a general disclaimer before I start talking about the Lifewave technology. Lifewave is a general wellness company. It's not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any diseases. Only general practitioners, doctors, medical professionals can claim that they can treat, cure, or diagnose any diseases. Let's get into it. And this company has been around for 20 years, started in America. It's a science and technology company. And David Smith, he himself is the scientist. He's also the CEO and the founder of this amazing company. And over these 20 years, he has done a lot of research and he only developed patches, nothing else. The company has only developed patches, all right? And it's classified as a medical device. The most powerful patch, which is X39, came out in 2019. So X39 can actually activate our own stem cells naturally, all right? So no drugs, non-invasive, no side effects. This is something that I was very skeptical when I saw this technology, but also desperate. I was willing to try anything, and I'm glad I did. I gave myself a chance to actually do this. Yeah, to try it on and to better my health. For you guys who are here for the first time or you guys haven't been consistent, let me share with you something. Give yourself a chance to try this out. 1 year from now, you thank yourself for starting. Really, you thank yourself. You thank the person that actually recommended you this technology that you have started. The company has obtained 200 patents and counting. And David Smith said in one of his latest interview that the company is on the way to 300 patents. Now, a lot of people ask me, Chin Hua patents, what's the big deal? Now, it's very difficult to obtain even one patent in America. They have to prove to the US government that this product works on a human being. How does it work? Later, I'm going to show you the patent, one of the most important patent, yeah. And this is something that has been researched over 80 clinical studies. A lot of doctors in America, Europe, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia is also using. A lot of doctors have already started using this technology to help their patients to get well faster as well. That's why this is a very safe technology, all right? So in Malaysia, it's approved by Medical Device Authority. Then it's under MDA and it's from KKM as well. So it's all safe. Everything has been done already. When we talk about what the future of medicine is actually said by Albert Einstein 200 years ago, he said that the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Even another great scientist say this, Nikola Tesla. If you want to find the secrets of universe, things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Why am I telling you this? Because the next slide is so important. How David Smith actually developed this technology based on frequency healing. Now, if you look at the picture at the left side of it, so this is what he first developed. Is what we call the DHC coil. Now, if you look at the size of this thing, you have to stand in the middle of the round thing, the DHC coil. Then the DHC coil actually emits different wavelength of light frequency. It uses light frequency to activate your stem cells. That was his initial development. But he thought that this method was bulky, clumsy, and too expensive for everybody to enjoy. What he did was he actually developed this patch technology and embedded nanocrystals inside here, all right? So then it actually uses our own body light frequency to heal our body faster naturally. That's the technology. And I'm going to go deeper into it. How does our body react to different light colors, light frequency? So how many of you here have been to the red light district before? If you go to Singapore, in Geylang, Amsterdam, if you go to London, and all these different places, red district is never blue. It's always red because red causes excitement of our body. If you look at hospital walls anywhere in the world, it's never red. It's always blue and white. Then why? Because it causes calmness and relaxation. It's just when we go to the beach, we look at the blue sky and the blue ocean, we feel more calm, correct? But when we are in the city, we feel stressful, anxiety, and things like that. That is the reason why colors have different effect on us. Now, when we were younger, our parents always asked us to look at green because it's good for our eyesight. It regulates our organ function. When we have kids, you actually ask your kids to look at a lot of greeneries as well because they're always on their iPad or phone and things like that. It damages them much earlier. That's why you see kids nowadays, when they are 5, 6 years old, they are already with glasses. This is the reason. I started wearing glasses when I was 9 years old. I thank God that my power did not actually increase. This is the things that we need to take note of, right? So whitening of the skin. If you go to beauty salon, the yellow light is always there to help us to reduce the pigmentation, whitening of our skin and things like that because it increases the antioxidant in our body. So that's how it works. I want to share with you a short video here on, did you know that light can actually kill cancer cells? Let's take a look at this video. This is what we call the photodynamic therapy. And this is something that is not very popular. I'll explain why later, but let's continue the short video. If you look at this, it has red, blue, green, yellow UV lights and is delivered through an IV in 15 minutes intervals. What are these purpose of different colors of IV delivery? Now, it uses a drug called PDT to target the cancer cells in our body, right? The laser can even be inserted in the tumor, and IV has systemic benefits. You can target the tumor by inserting the light into our body. PDT enhances mitochondrial functioning. It boosts ATP production and cellular energy. Strengthen our immune function and help the body to fight cancer as well, right? So oxygen nutrients delivery system. So different colors of the UV light has different functions inside our body. That's how light can actually kill cancer. We have a very important technology coming out, and this year it will be released in US. This is a light-infused water machine for self-healing and age reversal. So this is not alkaline water, it's not mineral water, no, it's light-infused water. So whatever David Smith is actually created over the past 20 years, the patches, is based on phototherapy, light. Now he's coming out with this amazing water machine. All right, so stay tuned. I think Malaysia is coming 2026, if I'm not mistaken. When we look at the different patches in the company, you can see that Energy Enhancer, which was developed, the first patch that was developed 20 years ago, has a red light frequency because it gives vitality, it gives energy, is a booster. You see, blue Aeon is blue color because it gives relaxation, it helps us to sleep better and things like that. Green SP6 regulates organ function. Yellow increases the antioxidant in our body. And if you look at X39, there's no color one. It's white because it's a trade secret. David Smith did not reveal what wavelength of light that he uses, and basically it increases the stem cells production in our body. This is something that is very interesting, and it's the most powerful patch in the company that he has developed. Let's talk about stem cells. I actually mentioned stem cells a few times earlier in my presentation, and maybe some of you who are new do not understand what stem cells are. Let me just quickly go through it. What are stem cells actually? Stem cells are the master cells in our body. If we have enough healthy stem cells in our body, the healthy stem cells can go and fix the damaged cells. Let's say I have a nerve damage, I have a intestinal damage, liver damage, brain damage. If I have enough healthy stem cells in my body, it will help to repair all these damaged cells. That's how it works. So if Mahathir, he just celebrated his 100th birthday. So he's still very sharp. He can still ride a bicycle, yes, although he has to go into IJN, surgeries and things like that. But overall, he's still very healthy. He does stem cells injections, but his stem cells injections are costly. It's not something a normal citizen can actually enjoy, right? And this is the human life cycle, guys. This is very important and it's taken from the British Scientific Journal. As babies, we have on average about 10 billion stem cells. Can you see the quantum drop? In the second quadrant, it's already between 1 to 2 years old. Your stem cells are really declining already, yeah, rapidly. Now, by the age of 60, we only have 5% remaining, right? So that's why we need to do whatever we can to keep our organs healthy. Some people, they are long-time athletes, they told me, but I exercise a lot, I'm very healthy. That's very good. But the thing is that with exercising, with no matter how nutritious food you eat, you cannot increase stem cells like how X39 does, because this is a proven scientific technology that can reverse our organs age. I'm going to show you later. When you use X39, it actually increases the quantity and the quality of stem cells in our body. That's how our healthy stem cells can rejuvenate, and that's how it can fix broken parts of our body. It's just like sending our car to service every 3 months, every 10,000 kilometer. It's the same logic. When you have enough healthy stem cells, your organs can work to detox on a daily basis. That's general health. And if you add on Aeon as a booster that you use at night, it helps to clear inflammation of our overall system. Now, remember during the start of my presentation, I say that a lot of, in fact, all the illnesses begin from inflammation because of the toxic environment, the food choices, the air that we breathe in, and things like that. These are the things that will help us to live long, live well, and live young. Then when you use X39, your organ age will start to reverse. Yeah, like this chart right here. So this is how it works, guys. X39 signals the body to elevate the most important peptide in our body, which is called GHK-copper. It's a copper peptide. It basically resets 3,000 to 4,000 genes to a younger and healthier state, and your organs age can regenerate by 8.5 years if you use it on average for 6 months. This is something that David Smith actually did a large sample size of study on human beings using X39. And he found that after using on average of 6 months, their organ stage can regenerate by 8.5 years. This is something that they cannot simply just say like that. They must prove. We cannot stop our chronological age, but we can reverse our cellular. This is not anti-aging, where a lot of products in the market has claimed that they can actually anti-age, right? So this is what we call reverse aging. It's very different. Now, why copper peptide is so important? Because copper, the element of copper, the main function of copper is to activate our own healthy stem cells, is to reproduce our own healthy stem cells again. But as we age, we have very little copper remaining. That's why our stem cells cannot reproduce. What are the other important functions of copper? It can actually repair our blood vessels, our nerve, increase collagen. It can repair tissue, skin, lungs, connective, bone, liver, stomach lining. You see? So then it also has multiple anti-cancer activity, guys. Your body will protect you against cancer. But if you're loading your body with so much toxins and you have so little copper peptide remaining in your body, cancer cells develop. Then when we use X39, we actually increase the protection of our cancer. That's why it has multiple anti-cancer activities. Anti-inflammatory actions, that is the root cause to all diseases. Lung protection, right? So anti-anxiety, anti-pain, anti-aggression activities. So DNA repair and activation of cell cleansing. This is what your body can do. What X39 is actually doing is just a tool to assist your body to heal faster, right? That's why our body is designed to heal itself, right? If you're loading up so many medications into your body, it stops the body from healing. That's why a lot of people, after taking 20 years of diabetic medication, their sugar level still doesn't improve, and they have a lot of other side effects. So then the doctors will give them extra medication to cover the side effects. Guys, that is how medication works. It's not meant to be used long term, right? It's meant to only manage your symptoms, and you have to find a way to help your body to reverse the conditions, and it can be done, all right, with this technology. Just now I mentioned that I wanted to show you guys the patent, of the most important patent of X39, and this was actually distributed by the US patent. It says that X39 can activate stem cells through a non-transdermal container. So that means nothing enters the body when you're using this patch. It's not like a coyote or painkiller patch. When you patch it on your body, the drug is entering into your bloodstream. This one doesn't. A lot of people ask, so if it doesn't enter your bloodstream, how does this patch work? Question right there. This is something that when we look at what stem cells can do, wait, I'm going to just answer your question on how this patch works if nothing enters the body. Let me talk about the potential use of stem cells. Now, if we have enough healthy stem cells production, it can regenerate every part of our body. That's the reason why people go for stem cells injections. But you got to understand that not everyone is suitable for stem cells injection for one reason and one reason only, because they take it from other people's blood. That is the reason why they need you to do a thorough blood test before you can inject stem cells into your own body, because it could anytime activate your cancer cells. Please take note, guys. So how do the patches work, right? So we all get energy from the sun, and our plants, our vegetable, our fruits actually absorb the energy from the sun for growing. Then the animals in turn eat the plants, the veg, and things like that, right? And we in turn eat the animals and the plants or the fruits. What happens is that every single second, our body is releasing energy. These are the energy that we cannot see with our naked eye. Everybody has energy. That's why our hands are warm. If your hands are cold, that means something is not right already. When we release energy every single second, what happens when we use the patch? The patch actually has nanocrystals. What happens when you patch on your body? The crystal melts and becomes and turns into a mirror. Can you see a mirror, this little diagram on the left-hand side of your screen? That mirror acts like a reflector that reflects the energy that's being emitted and back into your own body for faster self-healing. That's how the technology works. That's why it's called non-transdermal. Now, the energy color that we have can only be seen with a special thermal camera. If you remember during COVID, where people need to fly overseas and things like that, the custom has a special camera that can detect what color your body is. If you're highly inflamed, cough, flu, fever, your body is red. If you're healthy, then your body is blue and green. These are the things that we actually do not have much exposure of. When we look at what's in the patches, all organic, amino acid, water, stabilized oxygen, sugar, salts. That's it. No drugs. Non-transdermal, and it does not interfere with any medication you are taking, since nothing enters your body. That's why it's the safest option available. People asking me, Chin Hua, I have a pacemaker. Can I use the technology? Can I use Lifewave patches? If you have a pacemaker, you cannot use anything that has magnet or artificial frequency, like battery operated or plug point. You cannot use because it may interfere with the pacemaker. After a brain surgery, if people inject, they have implanted devices inside, you cannot use all these frequency machines. Please take note. But Lifewave is very safe. So people can use it during chemo, radiotherapy, and things like that as well. So it doesn't interact. Even on children, on pregnant women, on animals, plants, everything can be used. It's so safe. So these are the things that we need to take note of. And this is basically a image from the thermal camera scan. So it looks like this when you use the camera. But the camera is very expensive. It costs about 20,000 ringgit. So please don't buy just to prove that you have energy in your body. You do have, just by touching your hand, that the energy is there. How do we detox? So we've been talking about inflammation and diseases, and we need to service our body like how we service cars. So how do we actually detox? This is one of the best methods, and it's so simple. Every day in the morning, just use one X39 and patch it behind your neck for 12 hours. All right. And nighttime, take out the X39 and use the Aeon and let your body rest for 12 hours. In the morning, you take it out and put on your X39 again. This is how we use it. And if you are 50 years old, let's say you're 50 years old, you use a minimum of 5 months to see gradual improvement in your own health. This is the formula on how to use it. This is a long-term use thing, guys. So if you only want to use for 1-2 months, don't waste your money because it's just like exercising, eating. You do it for the rest of your life. This is a long-term use technology. And trust me, you save a lot on medical bills, visit to the doctors, and to the pharmacies as well. I've been using for 2 years and it's just been tremendous, as I mentioned earlier. This is where you patch it. And why at the back of the neck? Because that's where the position of your largest nerve is, the vagus nerve anatomy. When you patch it at the back of the neck, it actually stimulates blood flow to all your major organs. The reason why people fall sick is because they don't get enough blood circulation into their organs. If you actually visit TCM doctors before, they do the acupuncture and all that, is also to stimulate blood flow. Simple as that. But this one, you do it without the needles at the comfort of your own home and a fraction of the price. This is something is so powerful because when you put it on for 12 hours in the morning, it's detoxing for 12 hours in the morning. And when you change it to the night patch, it's again detoxing for 12 hours. Now, if you go to TCM 3 times a month, you're only detoxing when the needle is being poked into you. Then you take some Chinese herb and all that as well. So that's why the effectiveness, you have to go very often to TCM. Now, you can do it at the comfort at your own home. If you're traveling overseas, bring it along. It's so simple. If your daughter or son is coughing, sick and all that, patch it on them. It's so simple. This is something that I did not believe it myself. But being in the business for about 2 years already, I saw a lot of very interesting recoveries, amazing recoveries with my clients now. I'm fortunate and very confident about this technology. The technology, when you use it, may actually induce a healing reaction. Because when your body is detoxing, you may feel a bit of cough, flu, fever, and things like that. Then rest and recuperate. Yeah, drink a lot of water. And I have people, when they start using the technology, they get a bit of headache and things like that. It's normal. You can actually rest for 1 day and then try again. Or patch, don't patch for 12 hours too long. Patch for 6 hours and then rest. At night time, you put it on as well. So you need to listen to your body and adjust accordingly. So after a while, this healing reaction, it goes away because your body is going through detox and becomes stronger. Your immune system builds up and you become stronger already. A lot of people that would give up already when I'm getting migraines, my stomach is not well, I'm getting more bloating after I use the technology and things like that. We are here to assist you to actually give you the assurance to go through it together with us. If you have any healing reaction, Jin does his Zoom 8 every night, except for Wednesdays. So healing is never linear. It's just like our heartbeat. It's never one straight line. There's always ups and downs, guys. When our body is healing, also the same. Go through it and better days ahead. You have sunny days ahead. Then your body will actually fix the broken parts of your body. But give it time. Our body will never return to 100%. If I'm 70 years old, I can't expect my body to function at 20 years old. No way. If it's actually better already, 60, 70%, I'm very happy already, to be honest. That's why do this consistently. Enjoy the process. Just some of the healing reaction and the explanation why. Say after using the patch, I'm getting diarrhea, headache, constipation, bloating, vomiting, farting, and things like that. It's because the recovery of our gastric issue, whether we were taking supplements, medication, and all of that, did not actually recover properly. Excessive medication actually contributes to that as well. When we use the patches over time, all these symptoms will clear, just like how it cleared for me. Today, I don't suffer any of that bloating, acid reflux, nothing. Those days, I can't even take coffee or curry or anything like that because my body is very sensitive. And when it happens, I feel so frustrated. That's why my mood is never good. People always think that I'm a very not happy person. Actually, it's because I don't feel well. It affected a lot of my work and things like that as well. We have a lot of different testimonials. You can get this from your sponsors. The videos that we have done, Jin has done. So knee degeneration, cervical spine, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, foot amputation, kidney dialysis, right? So stroke recovery, ovarian cancer, things like that. It's so interesting. So again, we don't make medical claims. We have just seen a lot of amazing bad recoveries after adding on this technology, right? So cataract, glaucoma, colon cancer, and things like that, right? So before I end, I want to share with you 3 misconceptions about stem cells therapy. Yeah. So the first one, do we need to store our stem cells? Now, this news came out last April, and this is one of the big international group. It's called Cod Life Group. What they do is they provide service to store stem cells after the woman delivers. You can store it for 10, 15 years, right? And what happened was the temperature was actually tempered, and a lot of stem cells that were stored were destroyed. Then, even until today, this case is not resolved yet. These are the things that if we actually put our fate in the hand of somebody else, this happens. It's not necessary just to store your own stem cells. Misconception number 2, stem cells injection, very expensive. A lot of people tell me, which is true. Look at this wellness clinic based in Montclair. So it can cost between 50 to 150,000 each injection, right? So then patients are advised to do it once a year to maintain their health. Crazy, yeah? 150,000, I can buy 20 years of Lifewave patches. 20 years. This is the cost, right? And Mahathir's one, it is not even 150,000. It's so much more than that. And he does it 2-3 times a year. This is basically the 150,000 one is basically taken from other people's umbilical cord. It's not even your own stem cells. So that's why the next time you want to do stem cells injection, please check with your doctor first. Where is the source from? Is it your own one? Is it other people's one? Is it animals? Is it plants? Because the stem cells injections have been a boom market for the past 10 years. 15 years already. We have to be very careful about this. That's why it's important for us to learn about all this. So then we know what to do. Misconception number 3. Now, because of injection, localized injection, it's very painful, guys. Imagine if you want to poke it, a lot of people where they would like to be beautiful, they don't mind the pain. In Hokkien, you say, what, you want beauty, you want life. These are things that you can actually avoid. And each of these treatment can cost you between 40,000, and maybe one time is not enough. You may need to go back 2, 3, 4, 5 times. There's no guarantee. Even if you go for surgeries and all that, doctors will ask you to sign a indemnity form. There's no guarantee one. There's always a risk. Now, why not we start from the safest and most affordable option? This is what it is. X39, clinically proven. That means all clinical trials are done. A lot of people, when they're skeptical, they are very skeptical. They say, you know what, this is not scientifically proven and all that. It's not true. It's all scientifically proven. That's why I like this company. And if a lot of other companies you go to, you ask them to provide you scientific papers and all that, they cannot produce scientific papers. But Lifewave can. Because David Smith himself is a world-class scientist. This is the assurance. X39 in the morning, Aeon at night to reduce the inflammation and promote relaxation. Why this combination? Because healthy stem cells are drawn to inflammation sites. The inflammation is like fire in our body. It kills off the stem cells. Then when used Aeon, it actually lowers the inflammation. It clears the inflammation from time to time. And when you add on X39, your healthy stem cells can be activated and reproduce again. That's why this combination is the most important combination. Even David Smith said it himself. People ask, can I use X39 alone? My answer is always better. It's not to say cannot, but the effect is slower because you need to clear off the inflammation in your body first. And a lot of people ask, can I use Aeon alone? My answer is also better not, because Aeon does not reproduce healthy stem cells. It only clears off the inflammation. X39 is the flagship product of this company because of the stem cells activation. Now, you cannot eat stem cells on. You cannot apply stem cells on. You can only activate or inject stem cells. There are a lot of products out there that claim that they can eat stem cells, like apple stem cells and things like that. Now, you got to be able to read the ingredients or what other things are included in it. It's not the stem cells that you're eating that actually rejuvenate your stem cells. It's the other ingredients like ginseng or, like other things that actually gives you the vitality. You have to understand that stem cells can only be activated or injected these two ways only. Very simple. Patch, drink water. It doesn't take you 2 seconds, guys, to just do this. Pop, to work. Pop, go to sleep. I always tell people that this is far the easiest and the laziest way to get back your health. By people sometimes tell me that they don't remember and things like that. So patch it on places that are visible. Then every day you remember. This is something that is really up to us already. What we want to do, whether we want to learn, whether we want to make this easy for ourselves. David Smith has made it so easy and so accessible and so affordable to the public. No need 100, no need 50,000 ringgit. Just a cup of coffee a day. That's it. Water is important now because hydration keeps our cellular signaling functional. All right. So this is something that if you drink enough water, about 1.5 liter to 2 liters a day, your effect on the patches is going to be better. I met people that have not been drinking water all their life. The effect is much slower, man, because your body is fighting to replenish back more water. And 70% of our body is made of water. That's why it's important to replenish. I'm not talking about beer, coffee, tea, and all that. Those are not water. I'm talking about mineral water, like spritzer. You see the one that I'm drinking? Spritzer. All right. So mineral water is the best because your cells need minerals to function. Filter water is just clean water. Osmosis water is just clean water. It doesn't have any benefit to the body, but minerals has. Make sure you drink mineral water on a daily basis. All right. So there are other products out there that claim that it can stimulate stem cells production, like this blower. If you look at where it's blowing, it's also blowing at the vagus nerve, because the vagus nerve is the largest nerve in our body that connects to all our major organs. When you do this, it actually stimulates blood flow. Why so troublesome where you need to ask somebody to blow for you? No need. Just patch for 12 hours. This device as well. So this emits infrared. It's also light frequency. Even this one is also light frequency, guys. These are artificial frequencies. What do I mean by artificial frequencies? That means it requires battery operated or plug point in order for us to get the artificial frequency to stimulate blood flow in our body. A lot of people cannot use this condition, a lot of health conditions like kidney dialysis, pacemaker, cancer patients, okay, while on chemotherapy, radiotherapy, pregnant women cannot use. There are a lot of restrictions. So before you use this kind of devices, make sure you check with your doctor first. I was talking to a customer of mine. He's been using this Lifewave technology, the patches, for about 8 months. I just met him about 2 days ago when he wanted to replenish stocks. I tell you, in these 7 months, his progress is so amazing that he lost all his water retention. From 78 kilo, he's now 71 kilo. And he looks so radiant and vibrant. He's in his 60s already. So he asked me, hey, I'm losing weight. Is there any problem that I'm losing so much weight? And then I asked him one thing. How do you feel on a daily basis now? Because before that, he has a lot of aches and pains. He got a lot of gut issues as well, bloating lah, always nausea and things like that, no appetite and things like that. He said, you know what, this 6-7 months, I don't feel much of any of that anymore. The pains on my backache and all that starts to just lessen because after surgery, and then the gastric issue, all that starts to disappear as well. I sleep so much better. And I said, very good. And then he said one thing, he said that he bought this bed that actually operates based on infrared one. So you plug it in, right, and you switch it on, the bed emits infrared. So if you all know this bed, is about 15,000 ringgit, the bed. And he's been using it for 2 years before he met me. And still the pain, gastric and all that, it was there. You see, that's why I say this technology is so amazing that when he used it for only about 8 months, all that problem that couldn't be resolved in 2 years of sleeping on that 15,000 ringgit bed resolved. Actually, if you look at it, the cost of it is not even expensive if it can have this kind of effect. Lastly, I want to say that Lifewave is unique because it's the only phototherapy product in the world that uses the human body as its own power source. No battery operated, no plug point. Your body is the battery. So simply take out our patented patch technology, place it on the body, and it goes to work, guys. Simple as that. And I would like to leave you with this. The medical cost itself in Malaysia is actually on ever rising. It's crazy. So the 6 major illnesses, when we look at 2015, it's only about 4 to 5 figures. But when you look at 35, it's already 6 to 7 figures projected. Now, we are in 2025, and all these diseases are already in 5 to 6 figures. It's crazy, guys. So I always tell people that LifeWave is an insurance that you buy and you can see benefit when you use it on a daily basis. Insurance policy, you can only claim if you have something wrong with you. That's why it's very important to have this insurance with you, the patches on a daily basis, and also your medical insurance. It's crazy, guys. This can make a family go bankrupt. I can tell you that it's crazy. I've seen a lot of cases. It's up to us how we want to take care of our body, right? And I would like to leave you with this quote. Don't wait for illnesses to start valuing wellness. This is something that I think a lot of us we take for granted, including myself. I can be very honest with you. I never used to care about my health, thinking that a medication can do wonders, but actually no. That's the reason why I left the pharmaceutical industry and I venture fully into wellness. And until today, I'm so grateful that LifeWay found me.